Hey guys, today I'll be covering chapter 15, Urban Challenges in the UK. So, in the north, for example, Scotland is sparsely populated. This is because there's mountainous upland and highland areas where it's harder to build houses on. Whereas in the south, it's densely populated because it's low, flat-lying land, so it's easy to build on. Most of the cities are located where there's like rivers and coast because that's where um, trade used to occur. Cities are growing very fast. For example, London, its population is increasing by 100,000 per year. London is located in southeast England. Why did it grow? Well, because of its Thames River, provided trade routes, as well as the Roman walls, which allow protection, the bridges, as well as the fact now it has Gatwick and Heathrow, which are very two large airports close to London. London's international and national importance today include the fact that of media and communications. London is very connected. It has lots of global links. It's media and communications. It's education. So, for example, like Cambridge and Oxford, it has one of the leading universities in the world, attracting TNCs and companies because of its skilled workforce. Education, education, entertainment and culture, and trade and tourism also play a part, as well as the medical facilities and the legal facilities. London's population is increasing, especially the younger generation, because of migrants coming in and young people having more children. 45% of London is white, white UK, whereas the others are more diverse. For example, South Asian or Black. And London is one of the most diverse cities in the world. Shoreditch, old pubs and bars were transformed into art galleries and restaurants, as well as the high-tech industry attracted the younger generation. For example, the Silicon Roundabout, it has companies like Microsoft and Sony and Apple, so it attracts the younger generation. So this led to the gentrification of old people and Bangladeshi families, due to the rising house prices, as well as the street art and graffiti debate. So some people view it as street art, some people would view it as graffiti. Why did London docks decline? Well, new containers were introduced. These containers were very big and had a large holding capacity, and London docks were much smaller, so it couldn't cope with this, so it declined. The regeneration of the area around it, led to the Canary Wharf being built, and the Canary Wharf provided jobs that were originally lost due to the docks being closed down, and attracted more people into the financial sector. Employment patterns, so London has moved from manufacturing in the primary sector to the service and quaternary. Quaternary has recently increased, meaning like research and services such as teachers and doctors. Why is there a need for improved transport in London? Well, demand is expected to increase by 60% by 2050, so more people need to commute, work, for school, for tourism, etc. And some plans include Crossrail. Crossrail will reduce journey times by 25 minutes. It will raise property value by 25%, increase passengers by 10%, and it will improve disabled access. Crossrail 2 will link north and south, so it helps with the north and south divide. 47% of London is green space, approximately 20% are roads, 10% are footpaths. Green spaces include like parks, gardens, reserves, farmland, etc. And also it's important to have green space because it's for like healthcare, it reduces strain on the NHS because people are going out for leisure, activities, exercise, as well as the trees acting like a CO2 absorbers, so they increase the air. They make the air quality better. What strategies can be used to make London greener? So we have the proposed garden bridge and green grid. Green grid involves taking large open green spaces, putting them together, so it's making it easier for species to migrate. And we also have the idea of not paving over your gardens and letting them grow. Social deprivation is basically lacking or something. So if one place has better healthcare, higher wages, more like a higher life expectancy, whereas another place doesn't, this is known as social deprivation. So it's loss of inequality. And in London, this is still a problem. For example, Kensington and Chelsea have a higher life expectancy. For example, the males is like 83, whereas in Newham is like 79 or 75. And so you can see that divide, as well as the literacy rate is higher in Kensington and Chelsea versus in Newham, which is lower. Why is there a shortage of home in London? Population is increasing by 100,000 per year. Houses are only being built at 20,000 per year, so the demand is increasing. This leads to rural urban fringe and urban sprawl, expansion of urban area, and more pressure to build on greenfield sites, which are actually meant to be protected according to conservationists. For example, the green belt in on the around the M25, which obviously provides a lot of green space and contributes to the majority of the 47% in London. And it also leads to building on greenfield sites or brownfield sites. Some advantages of building on greenfield sites include the fact that it's cheaper, allows extension, so it's suitable for large families. But obviously, you're building on green land that can't be, you can't reverse the process. So once it's been built on, it's been built on, and there's not enough green space. It leads to urban sprawl. Whereas brownfield sites is you already have the public services and the infrastructure in place, so it requires less building, but it's often expensive and requires decontamination because it has toxic and toxins and chemicals, and so that's the shortage of housing. The pollution is also a very big problem. There are 4,000 premature deaths due to the NO3 concentrations, as well as the London regularly breaking the limitations. Cycle superhighway will help because it encourages cycling, because it releases less CO2. London's waste, so 61% is recycled, 24% is landfill, 6% incinerated, so burnt, and 8% is other. So that's all of the chapter 15 done.